What's your, damn, I am getting old moment? Teenagers have started to call me Mr., and not ironically. When I saw a cop sitting in his car and I thought to myself, that kid looks a bit young to be a cop. I think it happened when I collectively realized, I cannot bend over without producing some sort of sound effect. Oof, ugh. My high school friends started posting pictures of their grandbabies on Facebook. I felt like I'd fallen through some kind of fucked up wormhole. When all the 90s fashion came back in and I was like crop tops, chokers, not for me. I did all that the first time, and I realized I was also getting old and turning into my mother at the exact same time. I was about 40 and took my teenage kids to laser tag. I did it with them. At the end when we were taking off our vests, this 8-year-old kid said, "That old guy kept shooting me." I looked around and realized that my wife and I were the only ones over 16 in the group, and I was indeed the old guy. When a girl I worked with was trying to complain to me and said, "You know how back in high school they just had the worst Wi-Fi? Yeah, can't relate." I recently played in an alumni rugby match. Ages ranged from about 22-60 years old. I'm in my mid-30s, and I was saying something about the old guys, and one of the 22-year-olds chimes in, "Just a heads up, you are one of the old guys. That plus all these damn gray hairs." When I had to use a sick day at work because I slept on my pillow wrong and fucked up my neck. Couldn't move it all day. I keep having to scroll further and further to enter my date of birth when signing up for something. Aside from bodily discomforts, like others mention, things that were trending when you were younger are now classics or over a decade old. When you realize this, it becomes a surreal thing. You know it's old now, but you also have a vivid memory of it being the hot thing back then too. Staying in on weekends and finding myself getting ready for bed at like 9 p.m. on a regular basis. When kids started saying "on fleek," and I got inordinately angry about how stupid it sounds. I'm a student teacher who teaches a social issues class. One of our units is on terrorism. I asked how many students were alive when 9/11 occurred. Not a single student. I was a manager of my department, and was looking to hire a new employee. Several of the people that applied for the job were born the year I graduated high school. When I started getting irrationally annoyed at children playing on my lawn, I threw my back out dodging a moth that buzzed my face. I can't eat popcorn because it gives me heartburn. Popcorn. Walking with my sister in the mall and she looks at me and goes, "Have you ever been in Hot Topic?" I'm 27 and was in the emo crowd in high school. Last year I worked with a group of teenagers for 2 weeks. They were loud, annoying, and liked really stupid stuff like dabbing. They only ate junk food and food were bottomless pits. There was a couple who kept getting caught making out, gave stupid excuses like we were folding laundry with no laundry nearby, and were surprised that they kept getting caught. Afterwards I felt old and wanted to call my parents and apologize for everything. I fell down and nobody laughed. I was buying liquor, the cashier carded me. And I liked it. When I suddenly realized I stopped taking stairs 2 steps at a time and I don't remember when that happened. Fuck that. I still do the all fours animal run up the stairs, if my kids are not sleeping upstairs. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? I recently started a job facilitating some online education courses. The students come from a wide range of ages, but I can usually tell which of them just got out of college and have maybe never had a job, because they are constantly asking me stuff that boils down to, "But this assignment was slightly harder than I expected. Do I still have to do it, or I had plans to do something fun the night of class? Can you give me your blessing to blow this off?" Like, guys, this isn't high school. You're not required by law to be here. My permission is meaningless. You, or, likely, your parents, paid for you to do this, so I assumed you wanted to be here. But if not, what do I care if you waste your money? Most of the time I just want to be like, "You're an adult." Shrug, but that's probably not a very supportive answer. I'm 30 now, and don't think I was ever like this, but who knows. Realizing that the 1960s seemed like an eon ago in the 1980s when I went to high school college, and now the 1980s are more than 2 decades old for kids who went to school in the 2000s. The 1980s still seem fresh to me, but they are ancient history for a lot of people. About 3 years ago I had the bright idea to start skateboarding again. I am 39 now. Starting going to a local scatterpark when I could and was quite pleased that I could still do ollies and kickflips etc. One day a kid walks up to me and says I never knew old people could be so good at skateboarding. Made me realize that a nearly 40-year-old out of shape dad skateboarding was not a good look. What do you mean this primary school has banned smartphones from their classrooms? What 10-year-old has their own iPhone? I saw Tinder slowly change from real text bios to women writing bios using nothing but emojis. I mean full page of emojis. If this is what the world's coming to, I'm just not even going to try lol. Crouched down at work to get something off a low shelf. My hip caught when I tried to stand up, and I had to stay crouched until I could get it to move properly. I'm 24. When I realized that if I got a dog he would probably outlive me. I was excited about buying a new vacuum cleaner and being able to afford it. It's been all downhill from there. When you realize Redditors 10 years younger than you are talking about getting old. When I watch old cartoons and side with the parent/baddies. Watching The Simpsons as a kid, Bart seemed so cool. Now I think to myself what a little shit he is, and no wonder Homer strangles him. When you pay attention to the entertainment part of the news and you have no fucking clue who anyone is, but they talk as though it's a household name. Also when you have an extremely vivid dream that you just did something, only to realize it never happened. When I heard an advertisement for 50-cent concert tickets and thought, huh, that's cheap. I wonder who they're for.
Later.